What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mike J Show. Today, we're going to talk about travel food, how you can mentally prepare to keep making gains while on the road, but also how to navigate the challenges that travel brings. Will you be invited to a fancy dinner or maybe go to an awesome brunch place? Is your schedule compromised compared to what you currently do? I'm going to break this all down for you in the next few minutes. I just got back from UFC Fight Week in Las Vegas while under quarantine. Therefore, this was a very harsh example of how to properly manage my travel food choices. Now, the most important thing as we get started is to mentally prepare to understand you are leaving your traditional confines. You're leaving your familiar food choices and sources. So you have to think ahead. Understand you need to eat 4 times per day, every day. On average, that's 3 basic meals plus 1 floating snack or shake. So we think in terms of at least 4 meals. What will those meals be? Now, in traveling, I always try and find lodging that has the ability to cook. What does that mean? I want to get a suite with a kitchen. I want a stove. I want a range top more than anything. I don't use the microwave. I rarely use the oven. I don't need a toaster. What I need is I need to be able to boil water, and I need to be able to cook on a pan top, on a to fry and such. With that, you can make almost anything. You can make oats, you can make quinoa, you could, hard boil or poach eggs, you can make salads and scrambles and stir fries and steak and burgers and pasta, everything you can make. Chili, no problem. All that done on a simple burner. A single burner works great. Now, try and find a place with that. If not, pro tip, I would purchase a ceramic electric skillet. This is what I have done for years, for decades now. A ceramic electric skillet, you can get them for $10 to $40 at Target or Amazon and such. And I'll have that delivered to the place that I'm staying, so I don't have to travel with it. I'll get it shipped there for a couple extra dollars. That's just me. You do you. Also, make sure, bang, you give this video a thumbs up because I'm giving you some gold here. So just click that little thumbs up button so I know you're there and I know that you care. Now, we want to be able that we can cook. We want to be able to heat up water. I want to make coffee. I want to make tea. I want to boil quinoa and rice and other things. So that's important. Now we need to think about the ingredients. How will we get that? Well, what I typically do is I look at the hotel menu. Do they have room service? Do they have a grocery store on site? Where is the hotel located and what is around there? Can I walk to a local grocer or a farmer's market? Many times that happens. Are there little lunch shops and cafes and diners and restaurants and steakhouses? Sometimes that happens. I'm very aware because I plan, and I do this before I ever get on a plane. I do this when I'm actually booking the hotel itself. This is part of the preparation process. When I decide to travel, I understand I will need to eat while I travel. I don't leave that up to chance and just get on a plane. Now, when we talk about getting on the plane, what do I bring? Well, I have a black pack. It's over there. You know the black pack. Go to DOLCEdietshop.com. Get yourself a black pack. This is a multi-day all-purpose bag with a built-in hot-cold compartment at the bottom that comes with 4 pop-top Tupperwares. So I can bring 4 full meals with me in the bottom of the black pack, and nobody will know because it's so aesthetically pleasing. It looks great and so functional. I'll typically bring 3 meals with me, and I'll leave one of these Tupperware empty so I can keep extra food. And maybe I buy something, I get something fresh. Maybe I have some leftovers, then I have that container. That's me personally. I'll also bring a bag of nuts, mixed nuts. Cashews is my regular go-to. Sometimes I'll throw some raisins and sunflower seeds into that, shake it up. Now I have a ready-to-go trail mix in a... Actually, you can see right here, something very similar to this, right? I have these everywhere I go. I have that ready and available. I have my meals. I have ample nonstop amounts of water. I'll always have water in my bag, never without that. Usually I'll be sipping on a cup of coffee. I will have my whey protein isolate, the DOLCE Whey Pro. I will have that with me, usually 2 scoops per day for the duration of the trip in my mind. That's an emergency protein source. Sometimes I'll scoop some and drink it while sitting on a plane because it's delicious and I like it. And that, and maybe some mixed nuts or a piece of fruit or something along those lines to make sure I'm getting adequate amino acids in my bloodstream to enhance muscle protein synthesis so I can keep making them gains. Even when flying internationally, I'm not eating the disgusting airplane food. I'm not eating that poison. I have my own food with me, as should you. So I have multiple meals. The meals usually I'll have like a chili. I'll have a stir fry. I'll have, usually a lean protein, rice and or beans, and then some veg, multicolored veg, all chopped up in there with whatever sauce I enjoy. Maybe a barbecue, maybe a Bragg's liquid aminos, a soy sauce type. Who knows? Maybe a little bit of ketchup. Maybe pasta sauce. Whatever it is, I have those ready. And I say this so you're mentally prepared. You understand. Now, I was just gone for 8 days. I didn't miss a meal. I came back in better shape than when I left. I didn't miss a meal. And I also found places that I knew to be in the area that had great meals, that had grass-fed burgers and robust salads and wild-caught fish. And I ate there also to supplement. I went to Whole Foods. I landed. I got a rental car. And I went straight to Whole Foods and I got my groceries and I loaded up the back of the car with tons of gallons of water and some cases of water. I got extra fish. I got, burgers. I got, tons of eggs. I got tons of fruit, tons of veg. So I was able to cook. I posted some of these on my Instagram page. If you guys follow, you can see some of the foods. Now, I say this to everyone listening because I get a lot of you guys who ask me, DOLCE, should I click the like button? And yes, the answer is bang, bang. You should click the like button and give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And there we go. I can see that when you do that. So thank you. Now, you shouldn't eat crap. You shouldn't eat the garbage because you'll check into the hotel and they'll give you a bag of cookies, right? Everywhere on the airplane, they're just giving you poison and toxic crap. You can't eat that. You shouldn't eat that. Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Right? That's one of the hard things for a lot of people to understand. They act like children when they travel. All sense is gone. As if calories eaten while traveling, not even on vacation, just while traveling, as if they don't count. But they most certainly do. So let me answer some questions here. And hopefully that was helpful. As you understand, you need to know where your food is coming from. Before you leave, your meals are already planned in advance. You know the lean, green, and clean, lean protein, green vegetables, clean burning carbohydrates. You have food with you. You have nuts. You have a protein powder. I'll bring Kind bars. I'll bring half a dozen Kind bars or so. So I have a little bit of something that's available that I can snack on. I'll bring fruit. I'll bring a couple bananas, pears, apples and or oranges, avocados in my backpack. I'll have that stuff with me. I can go days with the food I have. I can go for days without purchasing a single piece of food. Not that I don't want to, of course. I want to have a grass-fed steak and a sweet potato, a baked sweet potato, and a big thing of garlic sauteed broccoli. Sure, I'm going to eat that every freaking night if I have a good place available. But if I don't, and this has happened to me, I traveled the world constantly over and over and over and over and over again, all different places in the world. Travel is always unpredictable. You get caught in places, you get delayed in places, laid over in places, miscommunication, things are closed. It's a holiday in the Sao Paulo, Brazil that you didn't expect. The things just don't happen. So you're always self-contained. And that's really the point of this, is being self-contained and being responsible and intentional and mindful. That way you can continue on making gains all the way through and getting your workouts in. My workouts are first thing I do every day. When I travel, first thing I do is I exercise. I get a good hour in. Sometimes it's just, the elliptical in the crappy hotel gym. Sometimes it's a nice walk or a jog outside. Sometimes it's burpees and squats and planks and push-ups and V-ups in my hotel room. Sometimes it's walking up and down. I always try and stay at the highest possible floor in every hotel that I go to, and I'll walk up and down. I won't take the elevator. I try to never take the elevator unless maybe I'm checking in or have bags of groceries and whatnot. I'll be efficient. But I got to meet people downstairs. I'll take the stairs down. I'll take them back up when I come back. This is how we do it. It's easy. I'll walk the stairs as part of my workout, 30 minutes inside the stairs, no problem. So this is all just simple little things to share with you so you don't blow the bank when you travel. Most people, when they travel, they come back, they regress. In 1 week, they'll regress 4 weeks, no problem. No problem. And that's been you, because I get a lot of these questions. I wanted to have this conversation with you because it's so timely, because I just got back from travel. Jesse Lee, what's up, Jesse? Paul Stevens, FU. Jonathan Trigg, what's up? JL finally got to hit the like button first. FU, coach. I appreciate that. Bang. Bang. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Truly, I do. It shows YouTube, the overlords up there, that you're engaging with us, and hopefully they will promote us eventually, and we can keep growing this thing. Omar says, what's up, coach? I'll catch the replay later. Can't wait for the DDC this weekend. I can't wait also. Guys and girls, the Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday from 5 to 8 p.m., Saturday from 9 to 4 p.m., Sunday from 9 to 12 p.m., and then a bonus after for those who choose to stay. Go to DolceDietShop.com to reserve your spot in the Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference. We have three spots left. Be one of those 3 spots. I will give you a discount. Save 1K. SAVE, the number 1, the letter K. Save 1K, and you'll save $1,000 off the retail price. We lost 3 people. We were sold out. We had 3 people kind of cancel for whatever reason. That's fine. We respect. But we were giving those seats back at the price that they paid. They paid during the pre-sale, so you can save $1,000 right now. DolceDietShop.com. Save 1K. Omar, I can't wait to see you. Jesse Lee, I know you're going to be a part of the event also. Alexa, what's up, Mike? I'll watch this later. Just came by to say hi. I like the thumbnail. I know, right? I figured that would get you in the clickbait. But I mean, travel food, right? Class 12 says, Mike Dolce, any replacements for blueberries? Really, any berry that suits you, that you enjoy. Any berry is fine. Be diverse. Look for local. Look for organic. Look for wild. Look for in season. That's what we're looking for. Jonathan says, Coach, do you offer your one-on-ones in person or just online? Jonathan, we do offer them just online at the moment. So you can go to DolceDietShop.com. You can work with Mike one-on-one consultations. I do 4 consultations every single day. It's my favorite thing to do. It is a one-on-one personal consultation between you and I. You answer a few questions as you get logged in, as you sign up. You answer a few questions so I know in advance what we're going to be talking about. We rattle those off. We get those questions through, give you everything you need, all the takeaways, all the action steps, all the motivation, all the troubleshooting. And then we still have time left over to drill down into any other area, sometimes just chit chat and gossip, but sometimes because the conversation gets more robust. I love it. So if anybody wants to do a one-on-one consultation, go to DolceDietShop.com, and I'm keeping my prices for now at the pandemic prices. Normally it was $350 for a 30-minute session. And again, I was booked every single day, all day, which was awesome. I dropped that down to $100. This is a 70+% discount because of what was going on. I'm just happy to have the chat with you guys. This is why I do this all day, right? It's like I do these free Q&As. I love to get in there and to help. So feel free. Class 12, Mike Dolce, in my country, almond milk is expensive, and I bought your Living Lean cookbook, but all I can buy is cow's milk. Oh, work with what you have. Now, if you well tolerate cow's milk, if you love cow's milk, if that's all that's accessible and certain recipes call for cow's milk, I'm not mad at you. A lot of people have digestive difficulty. Now, in the Living Lean, you'll see we do recommend white cheese in moderation. So we're not completely anti-dairy, but less is best for most people. Some people love cow's milk. okay, if that works well and you have a great response to that, I'm not mad at it. And it certainly sounds like the area you're it's much more normalized and probably a higher quality, I'm assuming. Jesse Mersad looked amazing on Friday and did great in those first 2 rounds, but got caught by a great grappler. Very hard to prepare for on short notice. Reaching out to Mersad to train soon. Oh, agreed. Mersad is a stud. Great performance. And with a terrible ending. I think that's all we can say about that. John Trigg, any tips on losing the last 20 pounds to get to my goal weight? Jonathan Trigg, I would suggest you go to thedolcediet.com. You start our 4-week, 3 weeks to shredded program designed to lose 21 pounds in 21 days. Plus, you get 1 bonus week. That is thedolcediet.com. And the 4-week or 12-week, 3 weeks to shredded plus living lean. You get the 3 weeks to shredded plan on both. You get the additional 8 weeks of living lean in the 12-week plan. That's what I would strongly suggest. You have 20 pounds, you're focused, you're motivated, you need the GPS. Our program, thedolcediet.com, is the GPS. It's on your mobile, it's on your tablet, it's on your laptop. You put in your personal information, and the most sophisticated software on the planet builds you your ideal diet and exercise plan, created by myself, my team of exercise physiologists and registered dietitians. Now we've been updating and improving this system. It came out, it's 6 years. 6 years of innovations, constant innovations. We're working on the 4th version, 4th generation, which you'll start seeing glimpses of soon. And those who are members will not have to upgrade. You will already be in the system, grandfathered in, if you will. That's what I would recommend, Jonathan. Sonia, loving the 3 weeks to shredded living lean program. Wondering if I'm going too hard on my weights. I increased anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds, depending on the exercise. I got dizzy on the 3rd set of my final, so I ended the workout. Sonia, that sounds like a normal day for Uncle Mike over here. I have hell day on my Sundays. Now, again, consult with your doctor. Do not, put yourself at any risk, of course. Speak with your doctor before trying this or any diet or exercise program. But I try to make myself pass out on certain days. I try to push myself so far, usually on the hill sprints, that I vomit, doing bear crawls up and down the hills on the sand dunes, here in the beach. And it's nice because fall is back, so they're starting to rebuild the sand dunes again. Otherwise, in the summer, I was doing it here in the gym with the med balls. I have 100 and 150-pound med balls. So kind of, pick up and over the shoulders, we call it. Squat down, pick it up over the shoulder. Keep going until you almost puke. And that comes pretty quick. Let me tell you, that comes pretty quick. But Sonia, take your time. Scalability is everything. I want to make progress every day. I want to stack wins every day. I don't want to push so hard that I don't want to work out anymore or that I risk injury or ailment. So just make sure if you're pushing yourself, and there's some great athletes that can push themselves so far they dang near collapse at the end, and that's actually a positive adaptation or effect. Let's make sure that it's positive for you. So I would scale back a little bit and make sure you're really enjoying it, training safe, and having fun. Tickle Stick says, boom, F you, Dolce. F you right back. A lot of questions here. Let me see how many I can answer. Yolanda says, we're traveling this weekend. Perfect timing. Thank you, Mike. Gainesville. That's right, Yolanda. Gainesville. Remember, think about where you're going. Have food with you. Prepare. Food is more important than clothes. It really is. What do you need when you travel? You need some, ample undergarments. You need a couple things to wear, that mix and match outfit. You don't need nearly as much. And you'll find most people barely use a third of what they actually bring when they travel, right? So keep that in mind. I'd rather have more food options and tools to prepare food, even if necessary. So think about having that skill, the ceramic skillet. It might be made by Oster, a ceramic electric skillet, mailed to where you're going to be. Maybe a little boiling pot so you can boil coffee, have all that stuff available, unless you're staying in a Residence Inn or something that has a suite. And then look at where you're going to be staying. What do they offer? What's around? Can I grocery shop? Have some fruit in your room. Have some mixed nuts in your room. Have some good, healthy, handy snacks in your room so you don't just get hungry and order a burger and fries from the crappy hotel kitchen. I mean, that's if you're going to do a burger and fries, man, your gal, get in the car and go to a fancy restaurant and get it. Don't eat that crappy hotel stuff. And worst case scenario in the hotel, order poached eggs, avocado, and some dry toast on the side. or some, home fries. Some make home fries, just the plain potato, or even some rice, or just a bowl of plain oats. I would bring my oats with me because most of the oats in hotels are made with milk, mixed with milk and brown sugar. Joe Blog says, Coach, how long should I stay under in cold water immersion? Well, that's really up to you. I like to stay until I get the shivers. Sometimes that happens early. Sometimes it happens deeper and deeper. I wouldn't stay too cold for too long, but that's it. There's a very large disparity between how long any individual can stay at any given time. But if I'm staying down below 52 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, multiple times, I'm pretty happy with that. What else? Dan Skinner says, do you have a specific barbecue sauce? Should I not get regular store-bought barbecue with 14 grams of sugar per serving? We do have one. Typically what we do is we'll just get an organic ketchup and mix it with Bragg's liquid aminos, kind of stir that up real well, maybe add some cracked black pepper. Works perfectly. It's absolutely delicious. You can also add a balsamic vinegar to a ketchup, mix that well. That works really well. There's going to be a little bit of sugar from the ketchup and even from the barbecue sauce, but typically you'll find less total sugar and more flavor, I think, in an organic ketchup and one of those mixtures. Now, we also do make one. I forget the recipe. It's been a while, but I know we have a homemade barbecue sauce and ketchup even in one of our cookbooks, but I'll have to refresh myself on that. Jason Morris says, Dolce, my weight stayed the same after losing 15 pounds on 3 weeks to shredded. Is my body just finding balance at that weight? I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Oh, Jason, right on. So Jason, sounds like we have a one-on-one consultation. I'm stoked for that. We'll talk more about this, but let's speak to the audience here, those listening. So you followed 3 weeks to shredded. You lost 15 pounds thus far, but I do need more information. I need more context. Like, did you lose 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks or 15 pounds in the first 4 weeks? Did you lose 15 pounds 3 weeks ago and now you've gone 3 weeks without losing a single pound? Or did you lose 15 pounds and since yesterday and now it's the next day and you haven't moved a quarter of a pound? All of these matter. Are you off 3 weeks to shredded now and you switch to a different eating program? Or did you restart 3 weeks to shredded at the same program, at the same calorie ceiling, while being at a different total body weight? Now, here's the answer, the general global answer for everyone listening. Oftentimes, people follow a nutrition plan and they lose 10 to 20 pounds. So, Jason, you're right there, 15 pounds in the middle. A 15-pound reduction in total body weight has a pretty dramatic correlated calorie ratio, meaning if you lose 15 pounds, but let's say you started the diet at 200 pounds, you lost 15 pounds, you're 185, but you keep eating the same diet that helped you go from 200 to 185 without any update. Now you will maintain this new 185-pound frame. If it's from high quality, net nutrient dense foods, you will slowly recomp that body. You'll gain a pound of muscle, you lose a pound of fat, and gain a pound of muscle and lose a pound of fat. And you'll be about 185, 183, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll kind of be in that zone. You'll recomp if you're training intelligently, you're managing your lifestyle, and you're eating these same high net nutrient foods. You'll recomp continuously. Very similar to our Living Lean program. But if you say, man, I lost 15, I want to lose another 15, well, you kind of continue on that recomp program and slowly you'll step down that non-functional body mass, or you reset the calorie intake, you reset the meal plan, which on our 3 weeks to shredded online platform, all the members can reset at no additional cost with their new body weight and go through it again and go through it again. Literally, they can run it 12 times a year. They can run it as many times as they want to at that new body weight. So that would be my answer to you, Jason. You might just need to reset. And that's likely coming from a few hundred calories per day, but we're really looking to split the needle here. And that's where I enjoy this most. Many people who are kind of, let's say you're 60 pounds overweight, Well, you don't have to worry about an extra 100 to 200 calories per day globally. There's a lot of other decisions that come before we're managing that last, 20, 30, 40 grams of carbohydrate, let's say. You don't need to worry about that when you're 60 pounds overweight. But when you're trying to thread that needle, you're trying to go from, 11% body fat to 9.5. That's when it really matters. So I hope that helps. And if that does help, bang, bang, give this video a thumbs up, guys and gals. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully this information is helpful, and let the YouTube overlords know that this is great content. Lazar says, what's up, Uncle Mike? My genetic is better designed to burn white bread than chia seeds because my great-grandparents didn't know for chia seeds. I'm from South Europe. I eat eggs, etc. Well, nice to meet you, Lazar. I appreciate you. White bread is a great carbohydrate source, right? It's pure carbohydrate essentially. I know a lot of athletes that eat white bread. I don't often suggest it because it does have a propensity for most people to store body fat, to have very wild insulin reactions. Danny Soto, hey, Mike, so happy to see you back. Was anxious for squats and steak last week and wanted to know when we can expect the pre-sale. I've been stalking my email. Good, Danny. You're going to hear that soon. What is today? Today's the 22nd. Before the end of September, you will hear that soon. I think that might be coming out sooner rather than later. So keep watching the email and watch the Instagram space also. Joe Blog says, I can't do pull-ups, chin-ups because of a shoulder injury or barbell rows enough for my back. Anything else I can do? Well, number one, don't get hurt. Talk to your doctor. Make sure your doctor tells you what you can and cannot do. There's different forms of overhead pulling, right? We want to be able to pull vertically. We want to be able to pull horizontally. Rowing, most people call horizontal pulls. But what about cables and elastic bands and pulleys from up overhead? Maybe kind of a modified upper body position, so you're leaning backwards slightly. I don't know. These are just things I would discuss. But I would speak with my doctor. I would get a pure diagnosis on the injury. I would want to work with a licensed physical therapist to address what the injury is and regain full range of motion in all angles. I don't want to walk around being told what my body cannot do. So I would more aggressively pursue remedy of the injury instead of just simply working around it. Angel Poblano says, boom, F you, Dolce. Smash that like button. Right on, Angel. Good to see you, my brother. James McCarthy, I'm new to your channel, looking to get fit. So far, I like. James, welcome. We are here. I'm here to help. The most honest man in fitness right here, my friend. So whatever you need, I'm here to set you straight without all the BS that goes along with it. Know that you're getting the real deal answer from the 4-time world MMA trainer of the year right here, which is kind of a big deal. You know what I'm saying? James says, any tips on how to gain weight clean for a higher weight class? Yes, James. Number one, you're new to the channel. So if you go back, click the video tab at the top of the page, you'll see I have a database, over 500 videos. Over the last 2 years, I've made quite a few videos that are very distinctly about gaining weight, gaining strength, gaining size, the right exercises to do, the days to perform the exercises, and the sets and reps that are most beneficial to your goals. So I would suggest you look at that. Now, briefly, what we discuss here, we discuss multi-joint compound movements, ideally in a full body format or in a push-pull format. You want to be training a specific muscle group at minimum twice a week, ideally 3 times per week. What does that mean? That means, let's say you're following a push-pull leg system. You train your upper body push muscles on Monday and Thursday. You train your upper body pull muscles on Tuesday and Friday. You train your lower body on Wednesday and Saturday. And Sunday, I would program as GPP, general physical preparedness. I go for a walk, I go for a hike, I go for a swim, I go for a bike ride, I go do yoga, I go bear crawl on the beach, I drag sleds, I farmer's walk. I'm doing something. I'm tire flipping. I'm clearing my backyard. Usually I got a pretty big piece of property. I clear my backyard. I work in the yard, wheelbarrows and all this stuff on my GPP day lately. That's the mentality. Now, some people, which I love, can do, will train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body. What does the body do? We push, we pull, we squat, we hinge, and we rotate through the core. That's what the human body does. So we program a overhead or horizontal pull, standing overhead press or a weighted push-up. We program a vertical or horizontal pull, which is a chin up and a bent over row. We program a squatting, bending at the knee motion, which could be a traditional goblet squat, or maybe it's a walking lunge. We program a hinge, which is a traditional deadlift, or maybe a unilateral kettlebell deadlift, Romanian deadlift, maybe. Good morning also works well. And then we train our core kind of through that full range of motion. That's what we do. You can do that 3 days per week, full body, one exercise per motion. That's a hard ass workout right there. What rep range do we want to train in? 3 to 20 is good for most, but it's kind of the general range. But really, you want to spend most of our time in the 6 to 12 rep range. 6 to 12, closer to 8. If I had to pick the ideal rep range for the average human, regardless of background, regardless of goals, regardless of anything else, I would pick the 8s. Now, I would never train an individual athlete at only 8 reps. I would certainly bring them down to 3s, and I'd bring them up over 20s. And that's what we currently do. But in general, 8s is ideal. Hopefully that helps. And I think that was very, very effective right there. Corin, hey, Mike, I just made your breakfast bowl. It was awesome. For lunch, you recommend your frittata and Cobb salad with the eggs and egg whites. Any other suggestions? Well, I mean, really, you can make anything. I can make an egg meal into 7 different things. I can use the same ingredients. I can make a frittata. I can make a quiche. I can make a scramble. I can make an omelet. I can hard boil the eggs and serve them over a salad, depending on if I have a tortilla or sprouted grain bread. I can turn it into a burrito. We have what we call egg pizza. There's many things that I could turn it into. Sam C., where do you go to do your research, find studies? Everywhere, Sam, everywhere. Do you work out in the morning before breakfast? Yes, I do. And I work out later on in the day, usually between 11 and 3. Let me see. That's a lot here. Sam, best exercises to build core strength, again, after open abdominal surgery. I do have to defer to your doctor and a licensed certified physical therapist. Me sitting here, I don't have enough information to give you the honest answer. You want to work with a highly qualified hands-on practitioner. I would suggest you work with a physical therapist who specializes in athletes, right? Not just a physical therapist who wants to get you back to a normal American life, someone who works with athletes, right? So you get the full utilization back. Corin says, what are your views about George Lockhart? He takes pride in taking guys who he knows won't make weight, and they don't make weight. So he steals their money, in my opinion, right? George Lockhart has the worst record of any weight management coach in the history of combat sports with regards to athletes missing weight, being hospitalized, pulled from cards, and sent to the hospital. Max Holloway was pulled from 2 cards working with George. Khabib Nurmagomedov was pulled from at least 1 card working with Tony Ferguson while working with George. I mean, Yoel Romero missed weight for the UFC world title while working with George. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So that's my thought. It's very deceptive of him to do what he's doing. He preys upon the athletes, which is certainly unfair. And, in my opinion, he's by far the worst in the game. And his record clearly shows that. Just there's nothing personal here. Just look at the data. I mean, the data clearly shows he has the worst record of any weight management coach in the history of combat sports, with athletes missing weight, being hospitalized, and pulled from cards. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Lazar says, Coach, I like to eat oats for dinner, not for breakfast, because when I eat that I feel sleepy and not much energized. Well, I would go to the doctor and get some blood work done, Lazar, and see if you have any sort of blood sugar issues. Anthony Cruz, Mike, bro, I used to follow you back in the day. Are you still active? I haven't been a fighter. Wear a Dolce Diet shirt, repping you in a while. Mike, bro, I used to follow you. Are you still active? I am active, but I don't work with the athletes nearly as much as I used to, and that is by choice. I'm the most famous, most successful in the history of combat sports. But like all things, I reached the point after doing that for 10 years, the 4-time World MMA Trainer of the Year, consecutive 4 years in a row. It was time for me to do something bigger and better, work with more people. That's when we did launch our online platform, which has a massive global footprint. We have 4 number one best-selling books that are outside of the MMA sphere. Only one of those books was for the MMA world. And quite a few other amazing things going on. So yes, I'm busier than ever, more successful than ever. I just don't have the time to donate to the MMA world because the amount of pay, and this is true, the amount of pay, even the high level MMA fighters will kick back, is not worth it. It's not worth the time away from my other business interests or my family. Kevin says, you said Bang Ludwig was the biggest weight cut. Could you make a video about that process? Yeah, I could actually. That'd be a fun one. I'll get Dwayne on. We'll talk about it. Sanyam says, hey, Mike, sorry for Mersad's loss. Hope he comes back stronger. Absolutely, he will. He's very mentally tough. He's ready to go. Parsa, what's up, coach? Sorry for the loss of your fighter, but what are your thoughts on Kazmat Chimaev? Is he the next big thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. He's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see who's next. Siri, you listening? Why are you spying on me, Siri?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Log off and stop listening to me.
You can change Hey Siri in settings.
Done. How about that? Siri spying on us, The overlords, as I said, bang, bang. Give this video a thumbs up to protect us from the overlords and their intrusions. How dare they? How do you feel about coconut oil? Should I cook with it? We do. We cook with coconut oil. We cook with ghee. We cook with avocado oil. We cook with peanut oil. Corin says, I know this is a hard question, but who was your hardest client to work with? Every client brings things to the table. Some are challenges and some make things easier. Some are unique physiological differences or psychological, cultural issues. Who's the worst? I don't have any worst. I would never say that. And I don't have any worst. I was able to grow and improve and become better through my association with every one of these athletes and every experience. So it's all a good thing. Amar Deep says, should I eat normally before and after my 4-hour earned meal time? Yes, completely normally before. I love to work extra hard on my earned meal days. I'll put in an extra workout. I'll go for an extra long walk. I'll make sure I'm hitting PRs on all my training. Jesse Lee, in between rounds in sparring, sprinting, conditioning, what's a good decrease in heart rate? I wake up at 48 BPMs right now. How long should I be able to get down you won't be able to get down to 48 for sure. What you're looking for more than anything is a 30 plus BPM reduction in 60 seconds. What does that mean? If that means if you get your heart rate up to 165, I'd want you to see you down below 135 a minute later. It's the recovery. How high can you get it? And then how fast can it recover? You won't get down to 45 because 40 or 48, that's completely resting. That's while at sleep. That's without moving your body at all. Once you get up and start moving your body, well, your idle is going to run higher just naturally. So you won't be able to get all the way down there. But just think about a 30 beats per minute reduction in 60 seconds. That's a good goal for any athlete. Timothy said, so I'm a 15-year-old. Will Whey make me stop growing? Timothy, I have never seen any data to support that, but also I would say I wouldn't want you consuming any sort of sports supplements at 15 years old. And I sell a whey product, and I'm saying you shouldn't buy it right now. You should really focus your time on eating whole food, a wide variety of nutrient-dense whole foods all day, every day. You are at a great point in life at 15 years old. You're asking the right questions. You're focused on health and fitness and likely exercising, and you're really off to a great start. There's no need to take any supplements at this point. Watch how dramatically your body changes just by eating healthful whole foods. Keep it up, Timothy, and keep me posted, please. Parsa says, I have just bought the book Living Lean. Do you think following the diet and other tips books will help my MMA wrestling career? Absolutely. Without a doubt, because it's fuel. That's what Living Lean is. It's a fuel. You're getting the right fuel. You're fueling your body, optimally fueling your body for whatever stimuli you introduce to it. Pars, I'm proud of you, my friend. Anthony says, Mike, critique my routine, please. LOL. 5 days a week, I work out. 3 days is full body. And the last 2 are strength, upper and lower. The diet is clean. I think that's good. So 3 days is full body Metcons, high intensity interval training style. The last 2 are strength days, upper and lower. The diet is clean. I think that's good. That's busy. It sounds very CrossFit. I'd like to see you get some cardio in early in the morning. I'd like to see you get some lists in, fasted or fed. I prefer fasted. I'd like to see you really focus on some aerobic training, not just the glycolytic training that you're doing. So you're training in that glycolytic style constantly, right? Strength or Metcon, same thing. You're using carbs, you're using, glucose. I would train aerobically also, and I'd really look to increase my aerobic capacity. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, keeping your heart rate relatively low. You can walk faster, farther while keeping a low heart rate. That's really what we're trying to do. Also, so I think your routine is good. I would just add the list training. Brian says, Uncle Mike, how long would you say to stick with a full body workout until switching to a bro split? It's probably situational, huh? Yes, but you probably don't ever need the bro split. I would switch from a full body to a push pull legs. I think push pull legs is probably the ideal program. You can do push pull legs off, but really push pull legs 6 days a week seems to work best by far. Unless you're a bodybuilder, like going to get on the stage and bodybuild. Sonia says, what's the difference between whey protein and whey protein isolate? So there's multiple versions of whey protein. We will say one, the most common whey protein concentrate, and then we have the whey protein isolate. The whey protein isolate is by far the better version of whey protein, in that the whey protein isolate is much easier, much more efficiently, and much more rapidly digested. Whey protein isolate, the amino acids are in the bloodstream, typically in under 10 minutes. The whey protein concentrate takes vastly longer for the digestive system to break that down and then to absorb it properly in the small intestine. The whey protein isolate contains 90% or more of actual amino acids. The whey protein concentrate contains 30 to 60% of the amino acid in the same total gram. So you're getting considerably more, double to triple the aminos in the whey isolate as you are in the concentrate. And the whey isolate is much easier digested. That's why we stick to isolate. It's by far, nobody refutes isolate is the most efficient, most effective form of whey protein. Jesse Lee says, how long will it take me to get to a level 2 DDC after this weekend? My wife and I are building the best elite athletic training and nutrition company in Lincoln, Nebraska, building it with the DOLCE diet. Boom, Jesse, with that attitude, rapidly. With that attitude, rapidly. You are a go-getter. You are a hustler. You are an entrepreneur. You are not scared to work, to pay your dues, to grind, to build your resume. That's what I'm going to teach you this weekend. I am going to blow your mind, not just when we discuss nutrition and dietetics, not just when we cover the optimal nutrition plan for the average citizen or for elite athletes. We're going to talk about all that, but I'm going to teach you how to build a brand, how to build a company, how to reclaim financial independence, how to create a cash flow positive business that long lasts your time and desire to work. That's what I will teach you over this 3 days. So the Friday the 25th, Saturday the 26th, and Sunday the 27th. If anybody wants to be a part of that, the DOLCE Diet Certification and Fitness Conference, go to DOLCEDietShop.com. As of this afternoon, we had 3 places left, 3 spots opened up. I will give those to you at the price, the pre-sale price the individuals paid. With promo code SAVE1K, you will save $1,000 off the $2,500 retail price. And that's a deal. So save 1K, DOLCEDietShop.com. Jesse, brother, I am in. I can't wait to see. Shemer, what's up, Uncle Mike? Good to see. The 4-time hasn't given up on YouTube yet. Had us worried for a while, not going to lie. No, I am here busy. It's been busy. But I'm back. Do not worry about that. Joke, is dark chocolate good if you want shredded abs? Yes, I eat usually a 1-inch square of 73% or greater organic dark chocolate nearly every night. Brian Zantop, recently I got my lipids back, cholesterol at 240. I'm 38 years old now on Crestor. Any suggestions or advice? Speak with your doctor, get a second opinion about coming off Crestor eventually. Not right now. Listen to your doctor, but I would say, Doc, all right, I get it. I'm on Crestor. I understand why. How do I work myself off this? Show me a future in which I can get off this. What do I need to do to get off this? Right now, you can also work with one of our registered dietitians to build you the ideal meal plan in conjunction with your medical diagnosis. Our licensed registered dietitians are empowered to work with yourself and your doctor to help prescribe optimal nutrition for your specific situation while taking in consideration contradictions from your medicine, which is why I have a team of registered dietitians on staff. That's an option. Doesn't have to be my RD. It can be anyone that you're comfortable with. But I would have this conversation, Brian. You're 38 years old. I, at 38 years old, did not want to be on any pharmaceutical for the rest of my life. So let's speak with your doc about how to build a bridge to get away from this. And that's going to come probably most likely from lifestyle management. Now, there could be some genetic issues. There could be some conditions unknown that we're not talking about here. That's fine. But let's have that conversation with your doc. James, you're welcome. Guile says, Mike F, I have a lot of shoelaces. I don't know what that means. Sonia, I've started watching your old videos while working out. It's so motivating, and I usually end up laughing about something. My husband just shakes his head. LOL. Sonia, that's awesome. I appreciate it. It's funny. I say some stupid stuff sometimes. I think it's funny. I think it's funny sometimes. And I don't hear it even because I'm just here kind of doing the thing, talking, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go back and listen and kind of critique myself. And I'll find myself every so often laughing out loud at something silly I said. So thank you, son. I tell your husband I said hello. Boris, how does Chimaev's switch between weight classes affect his performance? Is he big enough for middleweight? Yeah, Chimaev's, I stood next to him. He's a big dude. He's a big dude for sure. He doesn't have to be 200 pounds to win at middleweight. He can be 190 and smash dudes. He's got that fighter spirit. So yeah, I'm a fan. Amar Deep, can I make any activity? Make my activity my morning list, such as boxing, jump rope, BJJ, etc. Doing it less intentionally. You can try it. Any activity is good activity, please. But those are glycolytic activities. You will be using stored glycogen to perform those motions. That's all. Just be aware of that. That will not be aerobic. It'll have some carryover, but it's not an exclusive, or it's not prioritizing aerobic energy utilization, right? It is prioritizing stored glycogen. So you have to be aware of that. Class 12 says, any replacement for blueberries? Why are you yelling at me? And I answered these questions, so I think they're being repeated. I think you're spamming us. I've already replied, class 12. It says, please don't ignore. Any berry. Blueberry can be swapped out with any berry local in your region that is in season. Blackberries and blueberries and strawberries and cranberries, raisins, even grapes, no problem. No problem. Any berry, and I like a mixed berry more than the blueberry, mixed berries. And if almond milk is something that, or regular whole milk is something that you enjoy, I'm not mad at it. If that's culturally acceptable where you are, it's easy. That's all there is. You say, I don't know where you're from. Yeah, no problem. Corin says, will you go on the Joe Rogan podcast again? Just waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for the email. Beep. The little hand to go up in the email. You've got mail. Anthony, Mike, what's up with eggs? I keep seeing articles that still say they're bad for you. I'm currently eating 3 a day with added egg whites. I eat them all the time. So, I mean, there's the data points both ways. So I'm not going to tell you what's best, but I eat them and most of our clients eat them. Speak with your doctor and see what's right for you. What do you think of 1FC weight cut system? You can cut water, but you have to pee hydrated. Yeah, I'm aware of it. It's actually really easy to cheat. Very, very, very easy to cheat because it's not a matter of being hydrated. It's just a matter of having water in your bladder. You can have water in your bladder and still be dehydrated. Now, I'm not going to go deeper into that because that's a little inside information, but it's actually very easy to get around those tests. Not that I suggested, but I mean, any 13-year-old wrestler in New Jersey certainly knows how to do that. Lazar says, can you answer me on the oats? You said my sugar is maybe bad. I had a problem. Yeah. So, Lazar, what I'm saying is if you're eating oats or any carbohydrate source and immediately you feel sleepy afterwards, there's some sort of issue going on that I can't sit here and diagnose for sure. Something that you need to discuss with your doctor and get some blood work done to take a deeper look. Maybe it's just a habit, psychological association. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on with your blood sugar, with your pancreas. I don't know to sit here. But if you say, hey, I eat oats and I get really sleepy right afterwards, I would want to check that. So I would speak with my doctor. What is the optimal body fat? Some guys are 20% and some are 7, 12, 11%. 11 to 12% is ideal. Chris says, Mike, I'm a trucker and I can't leave my truck to fasted walk. Would skipping substitute for fat loss, or is it to hit? Awesome channel, by the way. Chris, can you walk around your truck? Can you walk around the parking lot that your truck is in? You don't have to walk that far. I mean, you can walk, in 40, 50, 60 feet square, or like a circle. One way, 3 laps, the other way, 3 laps, kind of zigzag up and down. As long as you're walking, that's what I would do most likely. And I put in some calisthenics and such too. Brian, I think you and John Meadows need to get together. Both of you, gentlemen, have changed my life. A Dolce Mountain Dog podcast would be gold. Brian, I do appreciate that. I'm a fan of John Meadows. If you would, just go over to John's page and leave a comment in his videos. I don't know. We've never spoken before, so just let him know that you, Brian, and anybody else who follows the Mountain Dog, John Meadows, let him know that we would be a good conversation together. That way, it'll be easier to have that conversation. But I'd love to. I think it'd be great. I loved bodybuilding. I'm fascinated with it, although I don't agree with a lot of it. And I don't train that way nor eat that way. Many of my friends are bodybuilders. And I think it'd be fun to speak with someone like John, where we could have that conversation. Difference of protocol. I tried to do that with Dave Palumbo a while back. And we had a great conversation, but it wasn't as context on the science side as I wanted it to be. So maybe I could have that with John about how do you dry your athletes out? Here's what we do in MMA world. What do you do with your food? Sodium potassium ratio. How do you actually do the water cut at the end? What about natural diuretics compared to the more harsh pharmaceuticals? I'd love to have the conversation with him. Anthony Cruz says, do you recommend multivitamins if you have a well-balanced diet? Most people I know take them just because. No, I recommend supplemental vitamins after blood work. So what we can do is we can see if we have any true deficiencies. If we have a deficiency, we treat it first with food, and then we look to add a supplement if necessary. Kyle, advice to someone looking to invest in real estate. I strongly suggest you purchase with cash. Most people think that's insane. They're not used to that. I believe you should purchase with cash, especially if this is an investment property. I will not go into debt for any reason, anytime, period, the end. That is the end of the conversation. So I will save up my cash until I have enough cash to buy a piece of real estate. Let's say it's $100,000. I will find a $100,000 piece of real estate that I have saved $100,000 up, whether it took me 1 year or 10 years. I will then have that $100,000. I will go to that property owner through my agent and I will say, I will purchase that $100,000 piece of property from you for $80,000 cash right now. I will give you 24 hours to accept this offer, knowing if you refuse this offer, I will go to your neighbor. Do you want this $80,000 in your hand right now? I can close tomorrow. You'll be surprised at how often you can close a deal like that with cash, because if you are getting it a loan, if you're taking out a loan, you will wait at least a month, 30 days, 4, 5, 6 weeks, sometimes more, and you're not even guaranteed to get it, even if you're pre-approved. The seller knows that. The seller's agent knows that. I can close cash right now. And if you say no, I'm going to go to your neighbor. I will eventually buy a $100,000 piece of property for $80,000. I will immediately have 20% equity in that property. I just made $20,000 by spending $80,000. And then that $100,000 property will appreciate between 3 and 7% per year. That appreciation, so let's say it's 105. I bought it for 80. A year later, it's worth 105. And it continues to appreciate upwards. Also, I put a tenant in there, and now I monetize with cash flow. I put a tenant in there. I charge them $1,200 per month, or her $1,200 a month. Costs me, $300 a month to maintain. I have cash reserves in case the boiler goes, a little bit of landscaping here or there, what have you. $900 a month, approximately $10,000 per year, on top of the $100,000 piece of property I purchased for 80, and the 5% level of appreciation each year. And I can always raise that rent. $1,200, $1,225, $1,250, $1,275, bang, bang, bang. That keeps going up. So if you're going to buy a piece of property for investment purposes, that's what I would say. And in a short period of time, that piece of property, while you're saving more money, will then cash flow to help you buy another piece of property. Then you have 2 pieces of properties you purchased the exact same way. Those 2 are now cash flowing. So you buy another 1 or 2, and those 4 are cash flowing. You buy another 2 or 4. Bang, 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 bang. And that's how you do it. But if you keep going into debt and getting loans, then you're not cash flowing anything. You're just basically breaking even every month with a little bit of appreciation if you're lucky, and coronavirus comes in and you lose your job, or coronavirus comes in, your tenant loses their job, and the government puts forth an order that says you can't kick them out and they don't have to pay you. You still have to pay the bank back, even if you defer payments for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever the law says now. You will have to pay all those 6 payments back, plus interest. That's the way you do it. That's my strongest suggestion. Now, it takes a little longer to get your first one up and running, but you will build a much larger portfolio in a much faster period of time that will be 100% debt-free. There you go. That's the goal here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what your net worth comprises of. Your assets minus your liabilities. If you have properties that have mortgages, you don't have an asset base. You have a debt base. If you have assets with no liabilities, no debt, no loans, no leases, no mortgages, ooh, baby. So I hope that helps you. I think it certainly does. Boris says it could be gluten. Try gluten-free oats. That's a good point, Boris. Actually, that's a very good point. Brian, I'll absolutely do that right on. Anthony Cruz, what do you think of the vertical diet? I like Stan. I'm buddies with Stan. I haven't really done my due diligence into the vertical diet. So, I like Stan. I trust Stan. Stan's a smart guy. But I don't have enough details on the vertical diet to truly kind of offer any sort of idea on it. Corin, would you like to see new weight classes? No, I think they're fine. Brian Zantup, Dave Ramsey style, 0 debt and pay with cash. Exactly. Absolutely. Big fan of what Dave does. Any fighter you would like to work with? Nope. I am completely fulfilled in everything that I do. This man is